Okay, good morning everybody and happy Yellow Friday. As you can see, I am dressed in predominantly a yellow outfit, and I'm actually sitting here in D18 with some lovely people who are at school with me right now, who I've said to them that they have to bear with me whilst reading this poem. So anyway, here's the story behind it. I'm going to read The Listeners by Walter de la Mare, which is one of my favourite poems of all time. And there's loads of reasons why it's my favourite poem, but the main one is that I don't really fully understand exactly what the message of this poem is, but there's loads of ideas that I've got, but I've never made my mind up as to what it's actually about. And you could say to yourself, well, why don't you just read a critique online and find out what other people thought? But I don't want to. I want to stick with my interpretation and stick with the magic of it. So here's my question to you. What do you think this poem is about? And if you've got any ideas, why don't you post them on the Be More Thirst Facebook page, and then obviously we can have a chat about it. So here it is. Is there anybody there? Said the traveller, knocking on the moonlit door, and his horse in the silence champed the grass of the forest's ferny floor. And a bird flew up out of the turret above the traveller's head, and he smote upon the door again a second time. Is there anybody there? He said. But no one descended to the traveller. No head from the leaf-fringed sill leaned over and looked into his grey eyes where he stood, perplexed and still. But only a host of phantom listeners that dwelt in the lone house then stood listening in the quiet of the moonlight to that voice from the world of men. Stood thronging the faint moonbeams on the dark stair that goes down to the empty hall, hearkening in an air stirred and shaken by the lonely traveller's call. And he felt in his heart their strangeness, their stillness answering his cry, while his horse moved, cropping the dark turf 'neath the starred and leafy sky. For suddenly he smote on the door even louder and lifted his head. Tell him I came, and no one answered, that I kept my word, he said. Never the least stir made the listeners, though every word he spake fell echoing through the shadowiness of the still house from the one man left awake. Aye, they heard his foot upon the stirrup, and the sound of iron on stone, and how the silence surged softly backward when the plunging hooves were gone. Well, I hope you enjoyed that, and if you do want to see what it looks like, you can look it up on the internet. It's called The Listeners by Walter de la Mare, and any ideas about what you think it's about would be gratefully received. Have a great Friday and a lovely weekend, everyone. See you soon. Bye.